Hello guys, welcome to another session. In this session, we are going to learn about selector specificity. So let's jump into the Visual Studio Code to understand the concept. So we are into the Visual Studio Code, and the setup we are having for this particular exercise is that we are having an HTML document over here, and where we are having a style.css which is being blank, which we are going to write over here, and that reside into the CSS folder. So prior to learning the selector specificity, we have to understand that we have already been discussed earlier, that is called conflict and cascade. Suppose that if we have two declaration for the same selector, for example in this case I am taking an h1 tag, and here we are telling that the color should be red for the first case, and for the second case if we are telling that the color should be blue. So what will happen in this scenario when we have discussed about cascade and conflicts? The last bottom rule is going to be applied to the h1 tag. So that means all the h1 tag over here, this one and this one, will print in blue. This is because of cascade rule. But suppose your requirement is that whichever the div is having a header going to display the content in red color for this header tag, that is h1 tag. So how you can specify that? So in such scenario, a specificity is comes into picture. So we need to tell that wherever the id header exists, and within that you have to find the h1 tag and apply the red color. So let's look into the output, then we will have a thorough discussion about this. So let's run it. Select this one, this HTML document, press F1, select this one, click on open in browser. So here you will find that it has applied the contact us in red color. Now let's jump into the Visual Studio Code. So why it did so? Why it has printed in red? Because under the hood what is happening, CSS is works on the point system. For example, if any of the tag is having an ID that contains highest value, or you can say that it might be 100 point, and the tag which contains the class which has little lower value compared to the ID one, and the tag which doesn't have anything, just a tag, so it has the lesser value. So whenever there is highest value exist, then on that time that particular rule is being applied. So in this case it happened because in the last session we have discussed about conflict and cascade, and where we have mentioned that whenever any selector has multiple declaration, on that time the bottom one is always going to be applied on the particular tag. But this rule fails when id is being specified to the tag for the specificity, then cascade doesn't work. So it will always pick the highest selector which is having the maximum point, as it is having a header which is an id and plus h1, that is a tag. So 100 plus 10 is 110, and for this case it is 10 point. So 110 is greater than 10, so that the reason this rule is being applied. So that the reason it is displaying in red, and it haven't applied the cascade bottom rule to this particular h1 tag. So this is what I wanted to demonstrate you in this session. See you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.